this session is going to be targeting the calves, the hamstrings, and some of the muscles around the hips in like the glutes. So this is going to be a really good stretch or group of stretches for you to do if you've just come back from a run, maybe a long walk or a cycle. But that being said, if your legs just feel tired and you just feel like you need a little bit of a stretch, then this is going to be also perfect for you. So we're actually going to start in downward dog. So when you're ready, have the hands underneath the shoulders to start, spread the fingers nice and wide. We're going to tuck the toes, take it up, found that downward dog. And we're just going to pedal through the feet. So 1 foot at a time. Now just allow the head to drop here. We still want to be nice and long in the back of the neck. And sometimes it can be really tempting to look quite high up the body, but you only really want to look to your knees or down towards your ankles. Press the hands into the ground, keep the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to come back to our down dog and just hold it here. Have a quick check and make sure your feet are hip width apart. And on your next inhale, we're going to send that left leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Point the toes, really extend through the leg. Try and press the right heel down towards the ground. Doesn't matter if it touches or not. We're then going to bend the leg, slowly bring the foot all the way through, and we're going to place the foot between the hands. I want you to drop the back knee, flatten the toes. As you next inhale, come all the way up, low lunge. Now you're going to press the hips forward, draw the ribs down to start. Nice and active in that front foot. Squeeze the glutes just so we can activate a little bit more into the front of the right hip. And then from here, I want you to sink a little bit more into that front leg. Still squeeze the glutes. If your arms, if it feels a little bit, having your arms up, you can always bring the hands to heart center or maybe just drop them alongside you, whatever feels comfortable. Slightly press this front knee out to the side. So the knee is tracking in line with the hip. Just going to hold it here for one more breath. And then you're going to drop the hands down, frame that front foot. Still engage through the glutes here. I want you to press the front foot down into ground, lift the heel off the floor. Nice and slowly, we're going to lower that heel all the way down. As soon as the heel hits the floor, explosive, come back up. Nice and slowly lower. As quick as you possibly can, bring it back up. 2 more times. Just allows us to work on that power in the calves and the Achilles. 1 more. And then from here, once you've lowered the foot down, you're going to take it back, find your half monkey. So you want to find a comfortable stretch here, and I promise you that that does exist. So don't feel like you have to lock that front leg out. Have a little bit of a bend in the leg if that feels better on the hamstrings and the calves, and pull the toes back towards you. So I don't particularly have tight hamstrings, so if I wanted to I could sit all the way down onto the ground, but I don't feel a stretch. I personally feel a stretch if I have a little bit more of a bend in the leg and really focus on flexing the foot back. So you might need to make a few adjustments to make sure that you can find this stretch. Now you can either stay with your chest lifted, or in your next exhale, slowly lower the chest down towards the thigh. We're just going to hold it here for 2 more breaths, breathing into those areas of restriction or tightness. Lovely. Slowly rock the weight forward. From here, hands underneath the shoulders, we're going to send that left leg all the way back. Press the heel away from you and then just tuck the toes, press the toes down towards the ground. So we're going to take it into a calf stretch. So maybe this is enough of a stretch, pressing the heel away from you, or maybe press the weight back slightly. Just going to hold it here for another 2 breaths. And then you're going to bring the weight forward. So you want to make sure that your hands are definitely underneath the shoulders. We're going to take it into our rainbows. So you're going to float the left foot off the floor. Now, you want to try and keep the rest of your spine nice and long. So you're not trying to curve into this sort of position. This is a very exaggerated position. All we're doing is keeping the spine in a nice long length as we just tap the foot to the floor. So there's very minimal movement in the rest of the upper body. Keep squeezing the glutes. tap the foot to the floor. We'll do another 4 more. And nice and controlled, so we're not swinging the leg, we're controlling every aspect of this movement. Lovely. Now when you next take the leg behind you, I want you to bend the leg, squeeze the foot towards the bum. We're then going to take the left knee to the outside of the right, try and place it down on the ground. Separate the feet slightly, we're going to walk the hands all the way back. We're going to come back into our cow face. So, depending on the hip movement, or hip mobility, sorry, your knees might not be stacked, which is perfectly fine. So you're going to come into any version that feels comfortable. So maybe your knees are slightly more lifted, maybe it feels better if your leg's over this side. If it's just not happening for you today, I want you to have your legs crossed with your right leg on top. If you're in the cow position, I want you to try and press the thighs towards each other. Hands are going to be alongside us. So wherever you are in this position, press the bum down, lift the spine tall. We're just going to lean forward a couple of centimetres. So the bum stays flat to the floor, shoulders away from the ears. And we just got to hold it here for another 2 breaths. So we're trying to target the outside of the hips into the glutes. You're going to lift the spine back up, right hand in line with the right hip, reach the left arm up and over. Chest is still facing forward, really reach that hand as far across as you can. Come all the way back to center and then switch. Come back to the middle, drop the hand down. From here, you're going to walk your hands forward, untangle the legs, come back to all fours. Tuck the toes, take it back up, down dog. Check once more that your toes are in line with each other, feet are hip width apart. Press the hands into the ground, keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then on your next inhale, right leg reaches up, 3-legged dog. We're slowly going to step that right foot all the way through, place it between the hands. Drop the back knee, flatten the foot. When you're ready, come up, low lunge. So just make sure your front knee is stacked on top of the ankles. Or right ankle. Press the hips forward, lift up. Start squeezing your glutes. Now, it's a slight activation of the glutes, so you just want to squeeze them so you can feel that they're working. You don't have to tense them so that they're super tight. You can either have your hand up, hands to heart center, whatever feels comfortable, but we're going to sink down into the front leg. So we're working into that left hip. Try not to sink forward here, so we're trying to keep the shoulders stacked on top of the hips. One more breath here. And then drop the hands down, frame that front foot. When you're ready, slowly press the foot into the floor, lift the heel up. We're going to lower the foot down as quickly as we possibly can. Pull that heel back up. Lovely. 4 more times. Don't worry if the movement isn't smooth. All we're trying to do here is work a little bit deeper into the tendons, the ligaments, into all of those fibers. Lovely. 1 more. And then you're going to lower that foot down, take it back, half monkey. Again, play around with this slightly. Find where you can feel that stretch. And it's up to you if you want to keep the spine tall, maybe lower down. But again, we're going to start using our breath, breathe into those areas of restriction, of tightness. Lovely. We're going to come forward, hands underneath the shoulders, send that right leg back. So you maybe need to bring the hands back a little bit more. Press the heel away from you, and then nice and slowly tap the foot over to the side, come back to center. You're trying to keep your head, heart and bum in a nice straight line. So this really allows us to target directly into the right hip and the glutes. Perfect. 1 more. And then we're going to bend the right leg, squeeze the foot towards the bum. Take the right knee to the outside of the left knee. Separate the feet. You're going to press back, come into your cow position here. We just move away from the plants. So again, one side might be completely different to the other. So maybe you're in your cow position where your knees are directly stacked on top of each other. Maybe you're in a different variation. Listen to your body, don't force yourself into a position that's not comfortable. You can always come into a cross-leg position with your left leg on top. Hands are going to be either side you, lift the spine tall, press the bum down, and then just slightly lean forward. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. So we just hold it here for another 2 breaths. Try and squeeze the legs towards each other. So it allows us to get a little bit deeper. Lovely. Lift the shoulders back up. Left hand in line with left hip. Bring the right arm up and over. Create as much space in that right hand side as you can. Come all the way back to center and then switch. Back to the middle. Hands come in front of you, walk yourself all the way out, come back to all fours. I want you to tuck the toes, take it up, down dog. On your next inhale, press the balls of the feet down into the ground as you lift the heels up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come back up. Lovely. 3 more times. And then from here, when the heels go down to the ground, I want you to bend the knees, keep them off the floor, take it back into that squash down dog position. So try and press your chest through your arms, allow the head to drop. Perfect. Straighten the legs, walk the hands towards your feet, come to your forward fold at the back of the mat. On your next inhale, press the feet into the ground, reach the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you soon.